Some rules at work aren't written anywhere. They live in the pauses, in who speaks, who responds, and whose words carry further than others. One of the most familiar patterns? When you offer an idea and it lands in silence, total stillness. Then later, someone else says basically the same thing, and suddenly everyone's engaged. You sit there thinking, wait, didn't I just say that? If you've been there, you know that flicker, frustration, confusion, maybe embarrassment. It hits deeper when your brain moves fast, when you care, when you're used to connecting dots other people are still catching up to. Welcome back to the Unwritten Manual. I'm Sarah. Today, we're looking at that quiet moment, the one that hits harder than it should, and what's really going on underneath it, from both sides. And just to note, this story is a composite. No one person, no one company, but the pattern, it's everywhere. You've probably seen a version of this yourself, so picture it with me for a second. It's Tuesday morning. The conference room's nearly full. The team's weekly check-in. There's that low collective hum as people review notes, tweak slides, and get ready to speak. Jordan's listening, but his brain's already one step ahead, tracing how the workflow could be smoother. That's one of the perks of a fast mind, pattern spotting. You just see inefficiencies before most people do. Jordan leads forward and says, hey, quick thought. I think the delays might come from that review loop. If we tighten that handoff, we could speed things up. Clear, friendly, and concise. And then nothing. Not rejection. Just that kind of pause, that kind of quiet pause. Not rejection. Just that quiet kind of pause where faces go still and no one quite picks it up. Jordan feels that drop, that sting of being unheard, the brain already rehearsing. Maybe I came in too early. Maybe I interrupted. Maybe it's me. The meeting rolls on, updates, side comments, another slide. Then 5 minutes later, Maria circles back. What if we looked at the review loop? If we shift that timing, it might stop the slowdowns. And the group lights up. Heads nod. Yeah, that's it. Suddenly, it's the idea of the hour. And Jordan's sitting there thinking, what just happened? Same problem, same solution, different response. It doesn't make sense right away. Think about it this way. When you live with a fast processing brain, ADHD or just a talent for spotting patterns, moments like this can register as rejection. Not because you want credit, but because it feels personal when your clarity meets silence. But often, that silence isn't about you. When someone shares an idea, most people are still catching up cognitively and emotionally. They're not just processing what you said, they're subconsciously reading how everyone else reacts to it. That's what social scientists call attunement, emotional awareness in motion. It's what we mean when we talk about EQ, or emotional intelligence, on a group level. Humans don't just listen, we mirror. So if no one nods right away, the group subconsciously files it as we are still deciding. That's why silence takes on meaning even when no one intends it to. Then someone else, maybe someone people naturally look to take cues from, repeats the idea. Now the group feels ready to respond. Same idea, different timing, different emotional context. That's how group communication really works. Attention isn't linear. It moves with the energy in the group. So yes, no visible reaction means no movement, but it's not always intentional. Sometimes it's a processing delay, an emotional lag. Sometimes people just need a cue that their brains can anchor to. For someone with a fast mind, that lag can feel excruciating, like being 2 beats ahead of a song everyone else hasn't started dancing to yet. It's not that you're wrong, you're just early. If it happens to you, pause, breathe, don't vanish. You can help the group catch up by giving your idea a second beat. Say, let me explain with a little more detail what I mean. Then follow with, what do you all think about that? That gentle bridge gives people time to engage and builds the emotional connection your idea needs to move forward. If you're watching it happen, if you notice someone else's thoughts being quietly brushed aside, lend it some legitimacy. Try saying, can we go back to what Jordan said earlier? I think that deserves a second look. That small line is emotional intelligence in action. It tells the group, we missed something. Let's bring it back in. And it tells the original speaker, you're heard. And those kind of moments go a long way. They can build or strengthen real working relationships. When awareness and empathy work together, what used to be a source of resentment can turn into a moment of learning. You see, ideas don't take root just because they're smart. They take root when the team is ready to embrace them, when people understand the idea and feel safe supporting it. So the next time your idea seems to disappear and you feel that little drop in your chest, make a mental note, but don't take it as a verdict. It might not be rejection. It might just be rhythm. Every time you notice that, from either side, you're building emotional intelligence because you're not just seeing what happened. You're starting to understand why. That's how communication in a team really works. Attention isn't linear. It moves with the pulse of the group. And once you start to see that pattern, it changes how you join the conversation. For minds that move quickly, sometimes faster than the discussion itself, that awareness becomes a cue to pause, to find the group's tempo before stepping in. And in that pause, fast thinkers and empathetic listeners finally meet, turning what used to sting into a shared moment of understanding. Because the idea didn't change, the connection did. This is the Unwritten Manual, the series about the rules you feel but no one writes down. If this made something click for you, please pass it along to the friend who always speaks 2 beats ahead of the group, or the coworker who's still figuring out the office rhythm. Next time, we're setting sail for a different kind of meeting, the one that probably should have been an email. This is the Unwritten Manual, the series about the rules you feel but no one writes down. If this made something click for you, please pass it along to the friend who always speaks 2 beats ahead of the group, or the coworker who's still figuring out the office rhythm. Next time, we're setting sail for a different kind of meeting, the one that probably should have been an email. Because sometimes that simple update subject line is hiding something else entirely. I like to call it the pirate email. Until next time, pay attention to what goes unspoken. That's usually where the real rules live. I'm Sarah, and this is the Unwritten Manual.